been in the ministry for 50 years. You get into a lot of retirement homes and nursing facilities, and 50 years, never saw anything like this place. It's so unusual. And of course, if you know anything about the background of this place, it's celebrating the 90th anniversary. And Hannah Atherton, just as a young girl, was burdened for pastors and missionaries and what have you that really didn't have facilities or even the wherewithal to retire. And that was a burden in her heart. And when she grew up and got married, and they bought the first home to make it into a retirement facility. And from that point on, God blessed it. He blessed the burden of our heart. And the burden of Hannah Atherton's heart is Atherton Baptist Homes of today. And what an unusual place. It just blew me away when I found out there was a place like this. And what also blew me away was the fact that God knew, since I believe so much in the sovereignty and the omniscience of God, that God knew back when she founded the Atherton Baptist Homes that Frank McQuaid and Dolores McQuaid were going to be coming here. God knew that back then.
Atherton has been the most incredible blessing. After more than 2 decades of pastoral ministry, I never expected the blessing I would get coming to Atherton. When I was in pastoral ministry, Tandy Sullivan, my predecessor at Atherton, approached me and he asked me to consider coming on staff, and I said, why would I want to do that? I'm a pastor. And he said, Dennis, this will be the most exciting ministry you ever do.
When the Lord called me to Atherton, I did have to ask why. It didn't take long for me to realize that Atherton is not a boring place. It's an exciting place to be.
I've never regretted being here. In the last 8 years, I've had the opportunity to work with some of the most amazing people on staff, people who I respect and admire.
I've never had that feeling that I wasn't where the Lord wanted me.
The camaraderie we have with fellow workers, everyone here make you feel you're at home and this is a family.
And have enjoyed the opportunity to be a part of this ministry. The Lord's had His hand on this ministry for years and years. And
it's just a very special place. I've worked other places, but none compared to Atherton.
Most of the people that move to a CCRC continuing care retirement community move there for the continuum of care. Most of them come in and they're healthy.
And something else that God knew was, we've been here 2 years. And He knew that after we had been here about a year, my wife developed advanced Alzheimer's disease, and she needed a special place for caring.
Many times there comes a time that they need to move to the next level of care, and that's hard. Even though they made that wise decision to come to the place where there's different levels of care, you know, we all think it's never going to happen to us. What we've come to do quite often is to get together not only with the resident but their family or maybe their closest friend or someone that represents them, and we sit around the table together and we talk about what we're seeing, and we try to make it as easy as possible on them. Letting them feel part of it, not that this is something that we're doing to them, but that we're working with them.
And right now she is in Fox 2. And Fox 2 is a skilled nursing place, and I don't know that there's another place better anywhere in the country than the skilled nursing facility here at Atherton Baptist Homes. So really, when you think about every single need that we could have envisioned that we would need at this stage of our life, every single one is met here at Atherton. A most unusual place.
I've seen so many people wait till they're 80 or 85 and spend a few weeks at Atherton and say, why did I wait so long? I should have come at 60 or 65.
I have a friend that just got here about maybe a month ago, and I would keep telling her, I worked with her for about 2 years. She says, no, she says, I don't want to go there with all the old people. I says, but honey, you're not young yourself. She says, yeah, but I don't want to be among the old people. I'll get older. And now she's here. And she says, I wish I had listened to you then. She says, but I'm so sorry I didn't come before. But now she says, I'm so happy, and she's just bubbling all over. And before she was walking around like, you know, it's
the kind of decision that people put off because they're afraid that a place like Atherton is going to take away their freedom.
You read about these rest homes that they call that you go in there and they're terrible, they're broken down, and the patients are not treated right, you know, it's just a bad facility.
And that's the way most of them were. And you do lose your freedom.
but not in Atherton.
Here, you don't have that.
The best part is the freedom.
Actually, it's a place to enhance freedom. People don't come here to die, they come here to live. They come here to make the last decades of their life as rich or richer than the earlier decades.
I basically plan activities and events off campus and on campus for all of the residents that live in independent living. And then I oversee the volunteer program, of which there's about 200 volunteers here at Atherton.
I try to go to the exercise 5 days a week, but sometimes events come up and I can't make it, but I try them. And when I don't make it, though, they encourage me. People say, where were you yesterday, you know? So kind of accountability thing, you know?
The area that we're in is close to so many things in Los Angeles and surrounding areas.
We are busier now, I think, than when we were at home because, well, both of us were working, and so we couldn't do the things that we really wanted to do. Now that we're here and in retirement, we can do so many more things.
It's the most tension-free living I've ever experienced in my life.
So I really enjoy the activities, and of course I enjoy the people. Everyone is really nice.
One of the things people always say about Atherton is that it's the Christian community. That's what really strikes them and amazes them at the way in which people come together with a common commitment to Jesus Christ.
But probably the biggest blessing was having my dad here. He had a stroke right at 65 and was paralyzed. We were able, after a year that he was paralyzed, we were able to get him here to Atherton. And just a blessing it was to have him right here where family could come and see him here. And we had our family parties here. It was a lot easier to bring parties to my dad than my dad to the parties. And just to see the treatment that he got, and just the love that the residents gave to him. None of them knew him when he came here. He didn't know anyone, and a lot of them would come and visit him. And one resident in particular would send him cards on his birthday, and just send him a welcome card when he got here. And over the years, never forgot his birthday. There were couples that used to come, and he used to love to sit outside in the wellness garden, and they used to come see him there. And the groundsmen would tell him jokes, and he was blessed to be here. And it was good to see that even though he was paralyzed and really couldn't speak anymore, that people found ways to communicate with him, and he found ways to communicate with them.
Stop and ask yourself, you know, is that normal in a place like Atherton? Or is it normal for a retirement community to have those things happen? And I don't think it is, but at Atherton it's very normal.
Oh my goodness. This is such a loving place.
Yeah, some of these folks are the finest people I've ever met.
It's like a little community.
The word I think of when I think of Atherton is the word family.
This is your family. It's the family of God.
Even people that don't know us, when we first moved in, we had people call us on the telephone and give us their name. We didn't know them at all, but they were just calling to welcome us to the neighborhood.
I did a lot of camping when I was young, both as a young person and then as a pastor going to camps. I often feel like I'm at camp right here. It's that same kind of feeling.
And it's neat having that many friends around.
I lived in a dorm all the way through college, and my wife and I lived on campus in a married couple's apartment. I feel like that's the kind of environment that's here.
And, we just love everyone dearly here, and we know that they love us, from our neighbors to the staff and all the working people too.
We have people visit us who wouldn't even know we're in a retirement community if we didn't tell them. It's just a marvelous feeling, wonderful experience around people who love God and a lot of warmth.
It takes us about $1 million a year to subsidize and take care of the cost, mainly of retired ministers and missionaries. That's not easy to raise. And there's some years where we wonder, Lord, at the end of the year, what's going to happen? And He always meets our need. But it's the people who are faithful in supporting Atherton, who love our ministry and love the mission of Atherton, that the Lord works through them. And our success isn't about us, and it's not about the ministers and missionaries and the spouses of those who are here. It's about a lot about the donors who believe in what happens here. And even if they don't visit every day or even every week, or they only stop by once a year, they only come by once a year to take a look at what's happening here, our success is a lot about those who believe in us, even from a distance, by their support. And we couldn't do it apart from their support financially and through prayer.
I always encourage churches to consider putting Atherton in their budget. This is a good home mission project. It's the continuation of your ministry to your pastor now. We try to take such good care of our pastors. We work on their benefit packages and their medical insurance and their retirement, and oftentimes we forget that when they reach that age of leaving active ministry, many times they don't have that many options. And for numbers of our pastors, Atherton has not just been an option, it's been a great place to be, a place to be part of a family and to continue ministering well past retirement.
I think that's what makes it really special.
So you should go now to get involved, you know, to share each other's love and friendship.
And we do just give thanks and praise to the Lord for bringing us here to Atherton. We are so happy. We've never looked back.
It's the finest life experience I've ever had.
We've seen God honor our prayers too much to question that this is the right way to work and the right way to run a business, His business.
We're happy. We're just happy about it. We just love it. Our kids love it. They love to come over here. They're happy because we're happy right now. And that's the best part about that.
It's a special place. In every way, it's a special place.
I just love it to death. That's about all I can say. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to stay here. This is it. This is it. The Lord should take me at whatever time. This is it.
God has honored that burden in that young lady's heart, and this is the result. And God's not done with this place yet. It keeps getting better and better all the time. For Dolores and myself, we would not want to be any place else in the world than right here at Atherton Baptist Homes. As we're on our way towards our final home, our heavenly home with the Lord, wouldn't want to be any place else but right here.
I don't think I could go any place else where I could be this happy. That's the way I feel.